Thank you for coming out again this session. Glad to see you again. Glad to be here. Yes. Okay. Well, because you know what today is. Well, we'll call it a celebration. It's the beginning of. It's an end of some old stuff. But it's the beginning of a new day. Okay. So, what we're going to do today, we're just going to talk about the informed consent, the information that you initially went over, understanding that what we talk about is confidential, right? Except with the event you're going to hurt yourself or hurt someone else, then that information will be shared. And also, we talked about how we plan to create some goals that will be long lasting so that it could take some of the stress off of you and make for a happier time. How's that? It is. Okay. I can see the hyper glow. I don't know if that has anything to do with some of the time that you had to invest in yourself. Whatever it is, maybe we talk about that at a later time. But I see some relief. This is fun relief. You're right. Okay, great. Okay. And so what we talked about in your initial sessions, do you feel like you got some closure? I feel like I made some progress. Is there anything that you want to expound on relative to your progress? Yes, I actually realized this week when I asked to do extra for my grandchildren. Okay. Initially, I felt the burden to say I will do it, though I don't have the time. I will stop what I have to do that is already planned, routine planned, and adjust. And then it hit me, I don't have to. I didn't think about I've been coming to the session. It just hit me. I don't have to because it is not my responsibility to be the mother to a grandchild or to even fill in for the father of this grandchild. Needless to say, I was going to consider filling in for the grandfather who the child never met. And so with that, I proudly said no, but with a better answer than just no. I gave the reason why and shifted it to say that I'm not prepared. That the parent could make those adjustments. And I did it. I did not feel stressed. I felt relieved that I said it, but I did not feel stressed. Where before I felt like if I say I cannot or I have to do it, I just have to. But I'm understanding that I could give up some of those belongings. I feel a little connected, not totally detached, but I feel that. Well, you sound like you're pretty pleased with your outcome, with your ability to process the information that only you knew was stored in there, and you knew that you had to get some resolution to the overwhelmingness that you were placing on yourself. You know, you were happy with doing what you were doing, but that's what brought you there. And if it's something that's pressing you that you just perhaps want to talk about, help you process the information, this is the playground for it, rather than sweeping it under the rug and you're just compiling on all of the needs, wants, and desires and wishes of someone else on top of you trying to do what you already want to do. So now you just seem like a little butterfly ready to fly off. Thought I had to add that in there. And so it's rewarding to know that you found the answer. So you realize that you found the answer. hadn't thought of it like that. That I found the answer.
Well, who did you think found the answer?
I thought you found the answer.
Well. So that is the cool part about therapy, is unlocking those hidden keys that you have within yourself to find resolution. So anytime we have some problems that you think it may be simple, it's a blessing to be privy to this type of help. And I consider myself a servant leader, a helper of God. And if I can help you with some directions, then I'm sure God is saying, well done, thy good and faithful servant. And that's what I want to portray. I want to be a servant leader to help people put things in simple things that we all go through and help put them in proper perspective.
I didn't expect to make it to this point at this time. I thought somewhere down the road I would keep coming, and one day the lights would come on. I would not have an aha moment. It was just one day. And now I feel like I can be a better grandmother and stay in the grandmother happily, the grandmother position. It was difficult initially, but now I feel like I don't even have to explain. Yeah. I may explain later, but right now I don't feel like I have to explain. And I probably never explain again because of the way that I feel now. But I know I still need to share a few things. It wasn't an overnight, which we had talked about. Right. It didn't happen overnight, so it would take some time. So I'm willing to share it that time. Yes. Yeah. I'm willing to give it that time.
So how does it feel knowing that today is our last session?
Sad.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I was so sad I could have done this. But if this is all that I came for and I got to where I am, okay, in that short time, that's how I feel like. Right. It's a short time.
And that it is, it's great because that's why we have different forms of therapy. You know, you just pull out the situation, deal with the situation. And I know that there were times where you were like, but it was allowing you to hear what you were saying, right? So with that being said, I think you created an excellent outlook for yourself. Because in the long run, it's all about being healthy for those grandchildren that you so desire to take care of. And if this isn't healthy, then you'll find yourself sitting somewhere, probably sad, for something that never really even had to be escalated to that point. So the good thing about it is you feel some resolution. So what are your plans do you have any plans so that you'll be able to continue to, I want to say, function in your role comfortably and not feel like you're cheating your grandchildren because of what the changes that you've decided to make?
Well, what I did is I talked to the children. I have 4 grandchildren. And I talked to 3 of them. The baby, I don't think he understands. He will never have the experience that they had because I'm changed. But I told them that we would have some time together. Pick a day when we would do dinner. So what would it be called? It would just be our time together. Grandmother. That's it. And I feel like this is all that I have to do. I do things with them, but I wanted to set a separate time just to say I can do this And in that process, I realized a lot of the things that I've already been doing with the children. It's our time anymore. It's always been our time. They were not really expecting me to be a grandfather. I've been listening and paying attention. Now I play ball with them or I run with them, but they don't see me as a man, and I don't have to worry about that. So I feel good. I feel good. So I'll just spend more time enjoying them and no time, if any, maybe a little, but preferably no time, reminiscing over a person that they've never encountered, they've never met. And so I don't, I realize now that that was saying it was okay initially, but after coming to counseling, therapy a few times, I realized I don't even have to talk like that to call myself a fill-in father or fill-in grandfather. Though my daughters talk to me, they never call me dad, but they talk to me about things that they would have been able to talk to their father about had he been around, had he been there for them. But then they throw out the equation of him being there. All they say is, "You've always been here for us." They never really say because of the father. And so the children will be fine. I know that I'll be fine because I don't have to focus on something that they may not have even considered.
So with all that being said, how does it make you feel? How do if you can describe your feelings? We're not going to describe how your children feel, your grandchildren feel, anybody other than you. What initial feelings can you cognitively tie into what's taking place?
I actually feel relieved. I think, well, I know that I don't have that stress. So that's why I can feel relief. I don't have the stress of wanting to, having to satisfy someone and go beyond what I normally do. So I just feel, in fact, I've dropped a lot of other dual roles because I realized that I don't have to do all of that. Where before I was doing so much, and now I'm like, I can do this. I can just be still, stay in my lane. Colloquial language sometimes works, but that's what I have to do. And it is not something that I'm doing because I want to be sad. I'm doing it because I need to be a better person for myself, all over. Well-rounded, without thinking well-rounded means doing everything. And I think that was what I was doing, trying to say I'm well-rounded, so I'm doing everything.
Sounds wonderful. It's rewarding for me to be in this seat and hear you identify with your own strengths. See, being able to identify with your own strengths is more valuable than understanding anything. I want to say I'm very, very proud of you for your accomplishment.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Yes, yes. So with today being our last session, and you went on to describe a few things, but did you have an opportunity to read any of the material that you had from the last session?
Oh yes, I think that is. I was going to throw that in. A lot of that is inspirational. Well, it was an inspirational book, but it helped me. I actually treat it as daily devotion. And so reading the same material was okay initially, but then I moved on in the book, and I could find myself getting excited about knowing stuff that I already knew. But it was worded differently. So because it was worded differently, I was able to receive it. It's easier to. There was nothing about stop trying to be a grandmother, grandfather.
Right.
But just reading and seeing words come to life on a page where it made sense to me that I could feel some relief in each.
And that was our goal.
And it happened without me saying,
This
now
is my
I have
goal.
to read this. Now I'm on page 16, so
Right.
now I should be ready. No, it was stay there until I turned the page, and once I did, each day was yeah. It was more like peeling an orange, a nice orange, sun-kissed orange with a little extra humps on there, and you're wondering why it's there. You have to take that out.
Some of the navel in.
Yeah, then when you get to it, then you have to take it with the skin. But once you get it open, it's like
feel back to fresh juice.
Yeah. So you forget about what it took to get to that part of it, but you know that you had to feel it. Right. Realistically, you know, but by the time you hold it in your hand and that juice pops out.
What a relief.
That's how I feel.
I did the work, and now this is my benefit.
Yes. Unlike the orange, I know that I will not have to go back to another bag of oranges to pick that one out. So that's how I feel. Like I'm okay. I've overcome that part of it.
So can you describe that orange, that particular orange
that I don't have to visit again? Well, if I see an orange with that little hump or the navel, I know I can either quickly get to the inside of the orange, by quickly filling it, or I can put it to the side and pick the better orange. That's not going to take all that work because I don't need all that work. That's all.
Wow. It's a pretty cool analogy. Maybe we need to write that down. Life is like pulling back an orange. If you don't want the navel orange, don't take the navel orange.
Pick a better bag.
Be mindful of the time that we're going to waste. That's why time is of the essence. Everything must be taken care of now. Everything don't have to be taken care of now, just depends on the situation. But if you can deal with it now, it makes for a better time.
And that's true. That is in all cases for you.
So, is there anything that you wanted to talk about before we end our session? If you have any concerns, maybe if you feel a little anxious about a few things, do you wonder what happens at that point? Are you just left out there to dry? Will I be contactable? Do you have any questions relative to that? Do you think that means that this is the end of our relationship?
No, I feel like it's.
Or do you think the relationship did what it needed to do and you're ready to move around?
I can move on, but I know that if I feel like if I run into a hump that I didn't call a hump before, now I can visually, I can actually see it. Like I can visualize, here it comes. I can sense it. I understand that these are things that I don't need to do. I don't think I'm going to because it feels so good. Just where I am right now. No, I think. Well, I didn't think it was going to happen so quickly. So I guess I could always call you.
Well, I mean, I don't want. This is the thing about it. I don't want you to have to be dependent on anyone because you have all the answers. The cool part about it is being able to identify when there is a problem. If you have something and you have to process it too long, maybe it's the wrong thing. So things that feel good come natural.
Well, I agree on that one because this has changed me. And I thank you.
Seems like we've talked about so much until now, the last session. It's like we didn't even need the last session. You may be asking for a refund at the end of the
No,
session.
because I didn't know that I was going to meet the last session and feel like I do. I thought eventually it will be the last session, maybe in a year or so. I really didn't think that way. That this is a process that's going to take some time, not a process that could be processed in the short amount of time that I think that even helped me because when you know that you have more time, I think you do linger with the issue, or you think you don't have much time, you want to hurry it up and make that happen. But to know for myself that I was just going along with each session, and now I'm at this point, then it's okay.
That's wonderful. I mean, that is so rewarding even to hear that I know that you found some peace within yourself and you have taken the time to direct your energy and give your energy back to where it belongs so that you can replenish your energy, replenish your energy. So as long as you're taking care of yourself, you're replenishing your energy. But if you don't take care of yourself, the energy is just going out the window.
I don't want to do that. Energy out there.
Right. There's enough winter vines out there right now. Okay. Well, with all that being said, this brings us to the end of our session, and it has been a pleasure working with you. And I hope that if you have anything that's pressing you, you feel free to give me a call. And if you have some people that you know, okay, that can use some therapy, counsel, please feel free to give them my card.
Now, how will I know if their problem is going to be one that can be resolved or at least have some hope for resolve in this time frame, or if they need longer term help?
Okay,
well, for me to know?
Well, as a matter of fact, that would not be for you to know. I would determine during the assessment process how to structure their healing plan.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, I guess that'll be all. I thank you for your time, and I pray that all is well.
All is going to be well.
All right.